welcome to the Corey Family Grandview Room at the Steven Tanger Center for the Performing Arts. I would first like to say that I hope as we gather here today in the comfort and security of living in a democracy, that we will keep in mind the besieged people of Ukraine in our thoughts and prayers always. I'd like to recognize somebody before we get into our program. She has been an advocate of the cultural arts community and all the things that we all foster in our community. She's been very supportive, diligently, always interested in every component of that. And she's been a award-winning writer for the News and Record for many, many years. And today is her last opportunity in an official capacity representing the News and Record. I would like all of us to thank and recognize Dawn Kane for what she has done for all of the arts community programming. Wish you a happy and healthy retirement, Dawn. Stay with us at any time. We are excited to gather together today to celebrate the amazing success of the inaugural year of the Tanger Center and our recently completed record-setting First Broadway season. And as we look forward to season 2 of Broadway, which begins in just a little over a month with Pretty Woman the musical. To recap our extraordinary first year that included 431,092 guests, 221 events, and 89 sold-out performances, our staff has a very special video for you to enjoy. Thank you very much. Please join with me in recognizing and thanking our great Coliseum and Tanger staff and the marketing team who did a great job with that and all of our events over the course of the year. Jenny, Lauren, Jessica, Jack, Andrew Brown, and of course Scott and Jerry for bringing all those great individual artists to the Tanger Center. We appreciate all their hard efforts. The Tanger Center and its incredible impact on our community would not have been possible without the leadership of the Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn and the support of the Greensboro City Council. Please welcome Mayor Nancy Vaughn.
Good afternoon. I can't tell you how happy I am to be standing in this building. It was a long time coming. I want to recognize my colleagues, Tammy Thurm, Mary Kay Abuzawader, Hugh Holston, our city manager, Ty Jaoba. I don't know if any other city council people are here. Assistant City Manager Trey Davis. I see County Commissioner Carly Cook. I want to thank everybody for their support. But I want to give a special shout out to somebody who might be a little surprised, and that is Rick Lusk. I know, I saw the shock on your face. When we were talking about Tanger and how this was going to be financed, we didn't want to put the burden on the taxpayers. Zach Matheny and I were on the finance committee, and we were trying to come up with different ways that this could be paid for. And we came up with an idea that 1/3 of it would be paid through parking revenue, 1/3 of it would be paid by the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the other third would be we called it a ticket tax, but you can't call anything a tax. So it is a facility fee. But we knew that it was going to have to pass the Rick Lusk test, because Rick, he was head of our finance department, and he wasn't going to let us slide on anything. So he reviewed it, and we got the Rick Lusk blessing, and I think that is kind of what brought this forward. I see Walker. Walker, I want to thank you. I don't think Kathy is here with us today, but without your steadfast fundraising, this wouldn't be possible. People have to remember that half of this building was paid for by private donors. I will take that math any day. If somebody wants to pay for half of a building, that is a great thing. Walker, thank you so much. I got a little emotional watching that video. I remember the first time I was here watching Rhianna Giddens sitting in the audience and literal tears coming to my eyes, because it's not often that you can make promises and deliver and exceed. It was absolutely amazing. The sight lines, the comfort, the sound system, it is unparalleled. I was just so excited that we were able to bring this to the city of Greensboro. When we talk about economic development, we talk about the announcements like Publix and Boom and Toyota, but this is an economic development engine. All the people that it has brought into our city who stay in hotels and eat at our restaurants. We are fortunate that now 10 additional restaurants are in plans to come to downtown, and we really need that, because it is hard to get a reservation when there is a Tanger performance in town. I have spoken to restaurant owners all over the city, and they have felt the impact of these performances and people going out on date nights or friend nights. And so I am just so thrilled of what an economic development engine this has become. Matt, your leadership and the leadership of your staff, Mike Perdue, the rest of you, this would not have been possible without your ingenuity and how to make this happen. This is something that we will look back at for generations. I know the one thing that Matt and I kind of disagreed on was the Price is Right. And I thought, the Price is Right in the Tanger Performing Arts Center? And I called him up and I said, really, you booked The Price is Right? And he's like, it's sold out in 12 hours. I'm like, can you get another night? and you could see the excitement of the people on that video who were there. It is just amazing, the broad variety of things that have come, whether it's the Brian series, all different types of music, all different types of musicals. My mom and I and my sister came and saw Mean Girls on Sunday night. It was a great way to start the week. There is something for everything here in the Tanger Performing Arts Center. When Lion King was in town, it was really great to see little kids walking down the street in their Lion King costumes, carrying the stuffed animals that they bought here. It has just been such a blessing. Keep in mind that it was closed for 531 days. You all remember we were going to open in March of 2020, and something called COVID got in the way. And it was 531 days before we opened. But it has exceeded all expectations in delivery and in finances. So I want to say thank you to all of you for your support of this wonderful building. And I know for years to come that families are going to be enjoying this. New residents, people who are coming to Greensboro for the first time are going to be in this building, and they're going to take away great memories. So on behalf of the City of Greensboro, on behalf of the City Council, I just want to say thank you, and there is more to come.
Thank you, Mayor Vaughn. I guess you weren't counting by weeks, huh? By the hour, days?
Days.
As we look forward to year 2, we expect to reach even greater heights in our second season. And let's take another look at the incredible 7-show lineup that Nederlander has brought us, which kicks off next month, heading your way. Our second season is also a highlight with the new title sponsorship. And they're just not a title sponsor of the Broadway season, but they're a new emerging employer for our community. And we're thrilled to have them be part of our programming here at the Tanger Center and part to have them in the community generating new job opportunities for our community. Please welcome First Bank's Regional Executive, John Vestal.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you everyone for being here. The staff and the team that puts this together is amazing. But what you saw for season 2 that is coming up, Scott was telling me out in the hallway, just wait for season 3, which I said, can I use that? Can I steal some thunder from you? And he gave me the green light. But so we're excited. At First Bank, we're headquartered in Southern Pines, but I can tell you we have over 200 employees in the Triad. And this is our biggest footprint of and most people that we have in any one area is in Greensboro proper. So we're excited to be a sponsor, not only for being in Greensboro, but being a big player in the Triad community. So as my job as regional president over the Triad, I get to go to Winston-Salem, Burlington, High Point, and a lot of time here in Greensboro. And I can tell you that the Broadway series is on everybody's mind. When these things get advertised, and the advertising's been fantastic, by the way, in my opinion. I never dreamed that we'd see First Bank in so many places and so often. It's not something that we typically do, is go out and advertise like this, but it's been a great partnership for us. When I'm in the community and talking to folks, when the Broadway series comes up, or they'll see me and say, "We saw your logo." People are getting behind us for getting behind the Broadway series, and we wanted to help bring it here and help it be sustainable by being the lead on the sponsorship. And so I can say, as a Greensboro, born and raised here in Greensboro, having Broadway shows in Greensboro is pretty amazing. I was thinking about what my history in town, and thinking going to the old Rebel show, Jan, years ago at WFMY as a kid, and thinking about that was kind of my exposure to television arts, or I never did much of that, but I was thinking about that's my first exposure. But now being able to see Broadway shows in our downtown is fantastic, and it attracts folks from all over our community, which is even better. So on behalf of First Bank, we thank you for the opportunity, Matt and team. It's been wonderful. We look forward to this season, and according to Scott, we really look forward to next season when he spills the beans on that at some point, Matt, in the future. So thank you for being here today and for all the support.
Thank you, John. In addition to our great Broadway sponsor, First Bank, I would also like to take a moment to recognize our Tanger Center building sponsors who continue to support this venue, including Schiffman's, Flow Automotive, Brady Services, Corey Corporation, Contour, Lee, Wrangler, Pepsi, and Our State Magazine. The inaugural Broadway season at the Tanger Center was nothing short of phenomenal. 17,414 subscribers, an industry record for a first-year venue. And with the capacity crowds for the final show of our first season, Mean Girls, we reached an incredible total attendance for year one of Broadway of 200,816 patrons, $14.9 million in gross ticket sales. Bringing an amazing lineup of shows to Greensboro and the Tanger Center each year would not be possible without our great Broadway partners, Nederlander and Professional Facility Management, PFM. I would now like to introduce, representing our partners, the president of PFM and our good friend, Lynn Singleton.
I couldn't live here. Every time I come to a meeting or a press conference, Matt feeds me cheesecake. So back to the mayor's point about the Price is Right, my board chairman in Providence asked me recently, how come the Price is Right sells out all the time? I go, well, Joe, there's probably no accounting for taste. So first of all, our reality exceeded our dream for all the reasons, and things like this happen because of three things: leadership, vision, and money, and you provided all three. And we had a great collaboration with Scott and the staff and Matt and Jenny. However, you did the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost this year. You did Wicked, you did Lion King, and you did Hamilton. So there's nothing any bigger that you can't do. And actually, probably the biggest thing you'll do next, besides Frozen, is since Phantom is closing in New York, Phantom will become enormous on the road because the demand is there for it. But it's not like doing Bruce Springsteen or the Eagles or Billy Joel, because you get to live with them for 24 hours. And when a show like Lion King, Wicked, or those kind of shows load in, you get them for 3 weeks. So it's kind of like having your in-laws for 3 weeks. And one of your staff, who will remain nameless, about the second week of Hamilton, calls me and says, so Scott says, Lynn, these people are really unreasonable. And I said, Scott, it's Sinatra. It's it's somebody who is, and did they sell out? Oh, Lynn, they're selling every ticket in the building. I said, well, Scott, hold your nose and put up with them, because they're going to make you a lot of money. Last week in Providence, to tip our hand a little bit for the following season, as I was telling Matt today, what happens in year 3 is crucial, because year 3, you as a public and patrons, your patterns get set. And year 3 is a crucial year, because that's the year where you come here, and that's just part of your life. So last week in Providence, we opened a lot of shows, and we opened the best production touring right now, the Tina Turner musical. It's the best production I've seen since Jersey Boys, actually. It's such a strong show. There's 2 Tinas. They actually cast 2 stars, and both of them are phenomenal. Now, so for 2 years, and all the people who work here in your other buildings, we're event people, and we were bored to death. We were tired of watching Judge Judy. So last week, as Tina left, I watched all these patrons come out of the building, and I thought, a year ago in Providence, we were yelling at people to keep their masks on. We were checking vaccination cards. We were concerned, would there ever be a show again in New York? And the human body and the creatures were amazing people. It was like it's like it never happened. But the people who we really need to thank, because they all came back. There was no great resignation of your house staff, your stagehands, your ushers. They all came back, and they made it happen, because as I said, we're the global people, and we can plan it, but you need somebody to execute it. I'll close with saying this, because it's kind of like paying it forward. We were recently hired as the theatrical consultant for the city of Sarasota to help them plan and building a new $350 million performing arts center in downtown Sarasota, which is staggering, but and it's 3 or 4 years from now. But in about 2 weeks, the city manager and a delegation from the city of Sarasota is coming to Greensboro, North Carolina, to look at your building and to use it as a model of what they will build there. So congratulations to you.
Well, thanks as always, Lynn, for making a trip in here, for participating. And thank you, all of you, for coming today. We can't wait to see everybody when our season 2 begins October 25th with Pretty Woman, the musical. And just to let the media know that our speakers are available for one-on-one right behind the curtain here. So again, thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Please continue to enjoy desserts and coffee if you'd like to stick around. So thank you again for coming. Look forward to seeing you at Pretty Woman. Thanks.